Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jay, and this is episode 5, I'm pretty sure, yeah, of my series, My Life is a Netflix Show. This one is my junior year horror story, and this one has some serious tea in it. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, I'm not exactly sure at the current moment, but there might be some trigger warnings, but if there is, I will edit in timestamps for everyone who might get triggered by certain things. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So this all started when I was 14, and I had met this guy, and needless to say, I fell in love. Now, was it a stupid idea to fall in love on my end at that time? Yes, it was. I basically lived my life as recklessly as I wanted. I was not in a good place at all. I'm not gonna lie. And my friends were assholes back then. Literal assholes. And before you're like, oh, she's talking about me, you have no damn clue who I'm talking about, so deal with it. But I basically would always be outside, always be out with these friends, and that is how I met my ex, because I was always outside. Always. And then we started dating, and the first year of the relationship was good, and that was when I was in my freshman year of high school. Then, after we hit the 1 year mark, everything just fell apart, and around this time, right before 1 year mark, I had ended up meeting his best friend. And I'm not even gonna give his best friend I'm not even gonna give his best friend a code name because he's my current boyfriend. So obviously we're just gonna call him Jay. But we weren't really close because he was in a relationship. I was obviously in a relationship, and the first time we ever hung out, actually, his ex-girlfriend was there. And as soon as I seen this bitch, I knew that I did not like her. I just knew there was something about her, and I just couldn't place my finger on it, and I did not fucking like her. And so we ended up going back, walking around this one place. Ow! I just poked myself in the fucking eye. And, I just caught that with my thigh. And while we were walking around, she was just making smart-ass comments and was even kicking my now ex in the ass. And I was getting fed up with her bullshit, and needless to say, I was this close to fighting her. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be respectful of Jay and his relationship with her, and I'm not going to do anything. And I had also gotten Jay's snap because he was one of my boyfriend's friends. So I was like, you know what? Fine. But the thing is, we didn't talk on there at all. Really, we would occasionally say hi to each other, whatever, but it wasn't becoming close, if that makes sense. It wasn't becoming close. We were obviously just more acquaintance friends than anything. When you're friends with someone, but you're also really not, but you don't got a problem with them, you guys just don't really talk. That's what that was. Because my thing is, when I'm in a relationship, why do I need to be close to another guy? Really close friends with another guy. Don't get me wrong, in a relationship, it is completely okay to have, friends with the opposite gender, but there has to be boundaries. You guys already know. I feel strongly about that one. I talked about it in my Q&A, and if you haven't go see my Q&A, go watch it, please, because, yeah. As I said, fast forward to my sophomore year in high school. We had just hit the 1 year mark in our relationship, and that's when everything started to take a turn. And the relationship had just become not healthy for either of us. And we were off and on like most of 2023. We were just completely off and on. And then there was just, as I said, there was a lot of issues. And I obviously contributed, because I'm not just going to sit here and blame the other person when I know I had a part in it too. But yeah, as I said, it just wasn't a healthy relationship at that point. And I was attached because, if you guys don't know, I have borderline fucking personality fucking disorder. So obviously that my ex was my favorite person at that time. If you guys don't know what a favorite person is in BPD, it's basically like a person you're completely attached to, like you're attached to them. Straight up attached. And that was me. I was straight up attached to him. And so I would get upset when we'd be off and on. And then eventually, like more towards the end of our relationship, getting close to our 2-year mark, I started to just not give a fuck. This was like what? Around September, I just started not to give a fuck. Like, I was like, I'm not really about this anymore. And then October, on National fucking Boyfriend's Day, so this was October 3rd of last year, I basically posted a post on Snapchat about the ring he got me for our first year anniversary. I still have the ring, I just don't wear it. It's a beautiful ring, I'm not gonna lie. But like, why would I wear something that my ex gave me? That's like wearing his hoodie. And I threw all that shit out. Cause why do I need that? That's just fucking weird. Just trying to cover like some of these blemishes. But as I said, I posted that, and then he was like, hey, can you please not like post like things about me anymore on your story? And I was like, okay, this is a red fucking flag. In the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is literally a red flag. But my ass, playing golf with red flags, was like, oh, I'm just gonna ignore it. And we see where that fucking got me.
Bitch, are you dumb?
Pardon me?
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
Are you, like, medically speaking, are you, like...
Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, are you dumb?
I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
Do you think
Oh,
she's dumb?
And is that a spider in my hair? Oh no, it's just makeup. Okay, whatever. I have to wash my hair tonight anyway. But I ended up having one of our mutual friends on Snapchat, and that's also going to be in the story time because some shit went down with that too. And apparently, because keep in mind that my now ex was cheating on me with his ex-girlfriend who cheated on him like 3 years ago.
The reason, bitch! I don't need to explain myself to you. And
What was the reason?
And when he would take his walk, so he started taking around August? He was, most of the time he was actually going to see her, and I ended up finding out they were kissing and cuddling and doing God knows what fucking else while we were together. Like, really, bitch? Like, okay, let me just throw this out here, because when we would fight, he'd be like, you never done anything for me, like, you didn't do shit for me except make me fucking miserable. And I was like, that's funny. That's really fucking funny, actually, because who was defending you when you needed it? Who was paying for clothes, specifically hoodies, and took you on 2 vacations, paid for that, paid for groceries for you from my house, let you stay here 24/7. You basically lived here most of the time. I would clean our room and clean up after you and make us food and basically be a fucking maid to you while you hugged my Xbox for literally basically almost the whole fucking time you were here. So, what are you saying? Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you saying when you say that I didn't do shit for you? And not only that, but even though he was making me feel some type of way inside, I still gave him all my loyalty and shit, so that shit, like, pissed me off. And then that was, like, the biggest reason why I was, like, sad, like, at first about letting go of the relationship, but now, obviously, I don't give a fuck. Peace out, Girl Scout. You've been dismissed. I just realized I got completely off track, and I am so sorry. I just got completely off track. But, like, as I was saying, though, that friend ended up telling my now ex's ex that he was cheating on me with, that we were still together because well, we ended up, like, breaking up for basically the final time that same day on National Boyfriend's Day. And turns out they were together since before fucking homecoming. Like, if you're together with her, why did you give me flowers? Take me to homecoming? What was the fucking point of that? Like, what the fuck was the point of that? The fuck? And apparently she knew that we were still, like, having sleepovers at my house. She thought it was weird, but, like, she didn't say anything really from what I heard. And I was like, girl, she's low-key kind of fucking stupid.
Whore. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Good working, fella. How's God blessing you?
Because if my man was having sleepovers at another girl's house, we got a fucking problem. We got a fucking problem, fool. Like, you dumb as fuck. And so, I'm not sure if that friend ended up telling this bitch if me and my ex were still together or not at the time he was playing both of us, basically. Because, well, I just find it funny because not only did he cheat on both of us with each other, but she also ended up cheating on him. And obviously wasn't gonna fucking tell his ass, like, we were broken up at that time. I found out, I was just sitting there fucking laughing. And then she ended up breaking up with him eventually because she was moving and didn't want the stress of moving in a relationship. So she ended up breaking up with him. But the day before Halloween, because we were, like, half together, the day before Halloween, he basically we literally, like, broke up for the final time. And I had to vent to someone about it. So I ended up venting to Jay because I also posted on my story and he was like, what happened? So I told him what happened. And that was, like, Halloween, the day after Halloween. And so we started, like, talking about it, whatever. But also at the same fucking time, by the way, don't mind my voice, I'm slightly sick. Fuck my life, I know. But also at the same time, that same friend, by the way, I caught this man fucking lacking, which you guys will be shocked when you find out how, but I'll get to that in a minute. He ended up admitting he had a thing for me since sophomore year when he saw me at the lunch table constantly, because I would always be there because I was skipping class literally just to make sure that my now ex wasn't being fucking weird with his ex because they were best friends. First of all, why the fuck do you have a girl best friend when you have a whole girlfriend? Second of all, why the fuck are you still friends with your ex? They're your ex for a reason. So obviously I was weirded out. You can't get mad at me for feeling some type of way about it. Like, the fuck? And he ended up saying, and this shit still fucking pisses me off so bad, and it's so disgusting. So, like, just brace yourself. He was like, your trauma's so hot. And I was like, the fuck he didn't go there. So I went the fuck off on him, and Jay and I were, like, still, like, making conversation a lot at the time and snapping each other all day. So obviously I told him, and this was the, like, day that we had started talking. We were in the talking stage. Because we both had just gotten out of fucked up relationships and didn't want to just jump into another one. Plus, he told me he needed time to heal, so I was going to respect that, obviously. But I was just so fucking mad about that. That is literally so disgusting. Like, what kind of fucked up human being are you? What kind of fucked up human being are you? Let me correct myself. Like, how you finna sit there and be like, oh yeah, like, I get off on your trauma. People piss me off. People fucking piss me off. I should have done my concealer before I did my foundation, but it's too late for that, so whatever. But like, as I said, I cussed him out and then I blocked his ass. But I decided I was going to get slight revenge. So I made a fake account on Snapchat and I was like, I'm gonna catfish him. Girl, this ended up giving me some shit on him because I obviously ended up catfishing him and he admitted to having fucking CP on his phone. And so this girl, Marissa, ended up cussing him the fuck out. And obviously I fucking told on his ass because at that point, that is not snitching. That is fucking disgusting. Children can't fucking consent. Like, what the serious fuck is wrong with you? I don't get people. Like, I genuinely don't fucking get people. And so, I was absolutely disgusted with him already, but I was even more disgusted when I found out that he had that on his phone. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you need to fucking delete that. And he was like, it's just hentai. And then I was like, are you sure? And then he admitted to me that no, it was not just hentai, it was actually the real shit too. So I was even more, like, fucking furious. And so obviously I ended up telling Jay about it because, like, we just started talking. The fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? And then we had been making plans to, like, hang out, but for the first few times that we had made plans to hang out, something always fucking happened, which obviously, things happened. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and blame anyone for that, but eventually, there had been this parade coming up. Parade was at some park, and that park was not too far from this store. So we ended up meeting at the store. He rode his bike. I had my mom drop me off. And I was excited because, like, obviously, like, I liked him. And I ended up finding out he liked me too because I basically got him to admit to it. So, because we had that awkward conversation, like, you guys all know what that awkward conversation is with your crush. We're like, oh, so who do you like? Who do you like? And then you both are, like, too scared to tell each other who you like and then eventually tell each other. Yeah. That was basically what had happened. I was basically in the school library when he admitted that, and I was, like, so happy. Like, I was trying not to, like, jump up and down. Like, because, like, I was so fucking excited about this. Literally, I was just so excited. But, like, the first night that we ended up hanging out was literally so perfect. Because there was also, like, fireworks at this parade, right? There was, like, fireworks, and I sat on his shoulders while we watched the fireworks. And we just had so much fun overall. Like, I remember we were chilling at this one, like, soccer net. And he climbed on top of it, and then he laid on the net, and then he started, like, kind of, like, slip off a bit, and he ripped a hole through the net. Yo, that was so funny. But, like, I was just so happy overall because we finally got to, like, hang out one-on-one in person because we hung out a couple times, like, before that, but we never hung out alone because that's when I was in the relationship with my, like, now ex, and he ended up telling me that he could just sense something was wrong. And I was like, oh yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot, but it's all good now. We need a hit. We need a hit, y'all. We need a hit real quick. Little Nick break. This shit is triple berry ice. Go get you some. It's so good. But since we both had a lot of fun that night, we made plans to hang out again. I already fucked up, but whatever. I'll fix it. So we were talking, and he was like, I'm about to be at my mom's one day, and I'll come over. So he ends up coming over, and I was excited. Like, my room was a bit messy, so I ended up completely cleaning my room, set up my LED lights. You know the vibes. And when he got here, we ended up watching the FNAF movie and playing Guitar Hero 3 because he had brought his guitar, which I still have it, by the way. Like, I was just so excited. We had fun again, and that was literally the day before Thanksgiving. And keep in mind, this whole time that we were talking, we were snapping each other 24/7, talking 24/7. Like, the first night we started talking in early November, I shit you not. Okay, so basically, I was at my second mom's house, and I was sleeping over, and my little sister was there. So we were hanging out, chilling in the living room, literally watching Hot Chicks, which if you haven't seen Hot Chicks, I highly recommend it because that movie is so... Wait, was it Hot Chicks or White Chicks? It was Hot Chicks. That movie is so funny, so I recommend, like, you go watch it. But we had started talking that night, and I was telling my little sister, she was like, oh my god, like, you're already becoming obsessed. And I was like, no, like, we just started talking, and I'm trying to decide, like, if I have, like, true feelings for him, because I don't want to rebound. And obviously, I knew that night that I had true feelings for him. There was, like, zero denying it. I had true feelings for him. But as I said, that was, like, the night, like, we first started talking. So obviously, it wasn't just gonna come out and be like, yo, like, I have feelings for you. Because I needed to see if this was just, like, a little, like, thing, or if I actually did. And as I said, I actually did, obviously, because we're literally together. Next day, after we hung out for the second time, as I said, it was Thanksgiving. And we would also call and play games, too. And talk on Xbox. You know the vibes. The one night, it's the night of November 25th, right? And I'm on the pole, I'm minding my own business, you know? And then all of a sudden, before I know it, it's after midnight. And not that long after it turns midnight, it was like, what, 12:15 in the morning? Yeah, it was. I remember it very fucking clearly. He texted me and he was like, hey, can you call me real quick? I have something very important I need to tell you. And you know that you get that gut feeling when you are either about to break up with your partner or someone's about to ask you out? I had that gut feeling, but I was like, okay, like, I'm not gonna, like, get my hopes up. I can't be so sure that this is what's actually happening. But sure enough, that's what ended up happening, and obviously I said yes. Obviously. Like, why would I not say yes? He's literally perfect in my eyes. Why would I not say yes? Plus, I obviously knew that I genuinely, like, had feelings for him. So, why would I not say yes? And I obviously still have genuine feelings for him. Like, he's my everything. Like, I have the same amount of feelings I had since this whole time. Like, this whole time. But eventually, I ended up finding out that my ex got with Jay's ex-girlfriend. And I just laughed at this because I knew he was only going after hoes because he couldn't find another me. So I just sat there laughing because I thought it was funny. Long story short on that one, she ended up cheating on him. Womp womp. I guess karma's a bitch. Plus, why would I care if I'm in a whole relationship? Like, why would I fucking care? That's just weird. That's just being weird. So obviously, I didn't care. I still don't give a fuck. And part of it was because he was mad that I was with Jay. And I was like, dude, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I'm happy now. I got the best boyfriend who actually treats me like a fucking human being. And this whole thing is important because when they first started dating, it was like, what? around like a little before Christmas time. I don't know. It was somewhere around there. And Jay's ex-girlfriend hit both of us up and was like, hey, like, I need you, aka me, to tell me what side, like, your side of the story of what happened between you guys. Because I need to know if I'm going to stay with him or not. And I was like, alright, I guess I'll tell you, but just know that I don't like you. You should be thankful that I am helping you. And either way, I can't force you to stay or leave someone. So I basically ended up telling her, and this dumb bitch, literally dumb bitch, she gets the bright idea to put me and my ex in a group chat with her.
Oh, you want to get fucked up. You want to get...
And so obviously I start fucking going off on him. I don't know, like, we all just kind of were, like, all arguing at once. And it was a whole mess. And then this is where the whole story with me getting suspended comes in. So I am not gonna lie. I'm about to be honest as fuck here. I ended up saying some shit to him. And I can't say it on here because YouTube would not like it. But just know it was bad. So my ex brings what I said to the school. And that was on, when we fought, that was on January 3rd. And so the next day, January 4th, because this is around the time we also, like, just got back from fucking break. So then I get called down into the main office, literally first period. So when I got down there, it was the cop and the assistant principal, who I fucking hate. I fucking hate the assistant principal. I fucking hate both of them, actually. And they were both sitting there like, do you know why you're here? And I was like, no, why don't you just fucking tell me? Like, don't fucking play games with me. And they were like, you're here because... And then they're like, okay, I want you to guess. And I was like, what the fuck? Don't be fucking playing games with me. Just fucking tell me why I'm here. It's really not that hard. And then I was like, is it because of the fight I got with my ex? And they were like, yeah. And then they were like, you could just have ISS. I was like, I literally told them, I was like, I'm not about to sit in fucking ISS. Like, I'll literally just straight up walk out of the fucking school. Like, this school ain't fucking shit anyway. So I ended up telling them that, and they went to go talk to the actual principal. And while they were talking to the actual principal, I was sitting there with my guidance counselor, and she's like, you need to calm down, like, it's gonna be okay. And I was just sitting there like, how the fuck am I supposed to calm down? How the fuck am I supposed to calm down? I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna fight with this fucking eyeshadow anymore. I'm not gonna fucking fight with it. But I just sat there, like, really fucking heated. And then the bitch-ass assistant principal comes back in, and she's like, get your stuff. And I looked at her, and I just started laughing. I was like, what? Do I have ISS? She's like, no, you have out-of-school suspension. And I lost it. Like, I just started fucking laughing my ass off. Because I just didn't give a fuck. I was laughing. I was literally in that motherfucking room fucking cheering. I was like, go me, get it. And she was like, you need to stop. And I was like, no, actually. Because of what this school is known for, obviously I'm about to be happy I don't have to go to this fucking bitch. The only bad thing about this was I wouldn't be able to see my boyfriend during the day. That's literally the only thing I cared about. And EMS. But basically, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't fucking care. Fuck this bitch. Okay, my ring light is falling. Another thing that just had me completely sent was she was like, why are you laughing? And I was like, because it's funny. Why the fuck else would I be fucking laughing? The fuck? If it wasn't funny, I don't think I would be laughing. Now, would I? Because, like, my thing is, I can have a real bad attitude when I want.
Well, no fucking shit.
Like, I'm not all Miss Innocent. When I Have an attitude? I have an attitude. If I don't like you, obviously I'm gonna have an attitude with you already. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. The fuck? And then he was like, alright, well, your mom can't get you, so me and the resource officer are gonna have to take you home. And I just sat there fucking dying laughing. Like, it had been like a whole fucking 20 minutes, right? And I was still fucking sitting there dying laughing. The fuck? And she was like, why did you say what you said? And I was like, I said what I said because I said what I said. Do you, like, got a problem with it? Because I said what I said, and there's no taking it back. Do I regret it? Yes. Am I sorry I said it? That's to be determined. But do I regret it? Yeah. Do I feel bad I said it? Kinda. So, like, my whole thing was I was just fucking done with that school at that point. And when I was on, like, when I was, oh my god, fuck, why can't I talk? When I had out of school suspension, I literally would just sit there and I would go to my boyfriend's house and wait for him to get out of school. And then I ended up getting a tutor. And so I was being tutored right, like, around the corner from my boyfriend's house. I was like, alright, you know what? I'll go to my boyfriend's house, like, right after tutoring because it was around the time that he would get out of school. So I would go to my boyfriend's house, I'd sit there, and sometimes he would meet me outside the place I was being tutored at. Not gonna lie, I felt way more safe when he was walking with me because there's some weird fucking people in this world, and I know he wouldn't let anything happen to me. As I said, keep in mind that I got out of school suspension January 4th of this year, and then a couple days later, like literally almost a week later, I had my hearing. And they were like, no, like, you're gonna be in out of school suspension until February at the minimum if you're in therapy. And if you're not in therapy, you're gonna be suspended till March minimum. And I looked at them and I was like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm already in therapy. Did you ever think that this school is the problem? Like, I don't know what to tell you. And another thing is, when the cop drove me home, they also performed a welfare check on my house. Also, keep in mind that I am still a minor. And during this welfare check, not only did they come inside my house without a warrant, but they also checked my bedroom, literally flipped my bedroom upside down. Like, they made a fucking mess out of it. And went through all of my shit and took a literal fake looking fucking pew-pew. Like, it was pink. It had an orange tip. And it shot foam pellets. And their reason for taking it was because it looked too realistic. Like, bitch, what the fuck? So that just made me even more pissed off. And then during out of school suspension, there's one girl that I didn't like that I ended up meeting my sophomore year, who was around my lunch table a lot. She basically ended up breaking up with her toxic ass boyfriend, who was ironically my ex's friend. And then this is where I have a problem, okay? Because just hear me out. And this is not my boyfriend's fault at all. I just want to say this, like, it's not Jay's fault at all. It's this bitch's fault. There's a difference between trauma dumping and venting. She was straight up trauma dumping on my boyfriend. Like, I get it. Like, I get that feeling. Like, I know that feeling, obviously. But, like, why are you trauma dumping on another girl's boyfriend? You're weird for that. As I said, I already didn't like her, and this made me not like this bitch more. Because, like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Editing me popping in here. And also, I just want to say, around this time, I had also gotten a really bad kidney infection and ended up in the hospital because my kidneys literally hurt so bad it burnt to pieces, peeing blood, etc. So I was in the hospital with a kidney infection, and then I got out. It was gone away for a couple weeks, came back, then I got my period, and that was a whole nightmare because I had a kidney infection on top of my period. Also, at the same time, as you guys know, I got my nose and septum pierced, but the original nose piercing ended up getting smacked out of my face. So I put a tiny, tiny diamond in there, and it was so tiny it went through my nose, and it's buried in my flesh, and I have to have surgery to get it out. Like, obviously, I was fucking uncomfortable with it because that's just weird. That's just weird. Like, girl, bye. And not that long later, my ex and I ended up getting into a fight again.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Because I decided I had enough of his bullshit, so we got in a fight. Again. I don't even remember how this was started, honestly, but yeah, we got another fight, and I told his ass off, and then not that long later, after that fight, I found out that he lied to my second mom about him essaying me, and was like, oh, she's lying, and then I also found out that he had said that my second mom don't trust me as much anymore, and this literally broke my fucking heart. Because, like, I love my second family. They mean so much to me. And I was fucking scared. Because, first of all, that was a lie on his part. Second of all, obviously, I don't want to lose my second family. So I was, like, worried. And I was, like, fucking heartbroken. So I basically texted my boyfriend and explained the situation. And he was like, listen, just calm down. I'll take care of it. And then, because he was going to come over my house later that day anyway. Well, when he gets to my house, I end up finding out because he sat me down and was like, we need to talk. He basically told me that he went over to my second mom's house, which is literally right next to my ex's house, and was like, basically like clarifying. And she's like, no, like I still love her and trust her the same. And so I was like, thank fucking God, because if this motherfucker had really damaged my relationship with my second family, it would have been World War motherfucking 3. But everything ended up turning out to be good in the end. Thank God, because I was not fucking around. I was not fucking around, bitch. I'm just glad everything turned out to be good in the end, because you already know me. You already know me. So I'm, like, thankful for that. I did end up going back to school February 9th, and I failed the 3rd marking period, but 4th marking period we're on break. So everything with my junior year has now turned out to be getting way better. I was not kicked out of EMS, thankfully. That was like the biggest thing I was worried about with me getting suspended. But obviously I'm still in EMS. I'm literally living my life. Like, sure, like, I've been having a lot of mental breakdowns this year, but when don't I, honestly? Like, I'm not the only one who has mental fucking breakdowns. So, y'all can't even be fucking laughing at me for that. I just find it funny that all this shit happened, because, like, bitch, what the fuck? Alright, y'all, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean the world to me. But, yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much, and, yeah, bye, guys.